The upright one. Bring me the stand, please. Wow. Oh, bad.
The upright. How does that? Did you put title or anything in?
Didn't ask me to.
It always asks you to.
It did not. Hello again. Can you hear us okay? Is there any funny noises in the background?
Yeah.
Because his phone, when we take videos, makes a terrible ticking sound for some reason. So we switched to mine.
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
So, Angie, if you could tell me if you can hear us all right, that'd be great.
Can you hear me? Hopefully I don't have to yell.
I can hear you, she says. We're in the middle of heating up dinner, and he just is like, let's do a live. Right now.
Well, we've never done a short live.
So, I had already oiled my hair with my hair oil to prepare to take a shower, and he's like, let's do a live, let's do a live. So, I was not prepared, and I feel like I look bald. It's thinning right here anyway.
I think you look beautiful. I do.
It's not my good side.
I think you look beautiful.
Anyway, so we're just hanging out tonight, and we'll see if anybody joins us.
We had the lamp lit, and then I turned the regular light on for this because with the lamp on.
Why don't you go with your phone and share it to Facebook?
With my phone, share it to Facebook. So what you got? What?
We have one watcher at the moment. It's
things.
not you guys.
Okay, I've got something I'd like to talk about, or things I'd like to talk about. But what would you like to hear? You got any questions? Give me some questions. Give me some preppers. Some not preppers. Some what do they call those in writing?
What are you talking about?
Oh.
Don't forget, we don't have our microphones on, so
Oh.
you're going to be loud.
Can you hear me from farther away?
She said yes, I can earlier.
Oh, okay.
Now there's 3 people watching. I think one of them's you.
I'm not on Facebook.
Oh, well.
Or on Marketplace. I'm not on Facebook Marketplace.
It's
You're welcome.
Helena. Hello. I'm not familiar with you.
Well, I'd like to
so
talk,
hello. Welcome. Oh.
I'd like to talk about some barefoot shoes if any of you's interested in that in our barefoot transition.
We have 15 people watching us, and I think that some of these people are not subscribers. So let's introduce ourselves real quick.
Go for it.
So
Start.
we are Andy and Angie Florence, and yes, we have a tiny house. That's what we live in right now, and we'll give you a little tour of it here in a minute if you like. So anyway, we live in 320 square foot tiny house. We are off grid, and we just we've got a bunch of videos, you know, about our life if you want to check those out, but we thought we'd just come on here tonight and just hang out and answer any questions you guys may have about living in a tiny space or being off grid or homesteading or anything like that. So
Yes, because we live the off-grid lifestyle. We
Yeah.
do barefoot shoes. We heat and cook on a wood stove. We have a wood-fired hot water tank. We poop in buckets.
yeah. And yes, just trolling, we do have solar power.
Yes,
We
do have solar power.
only power a refrigerator and maybe a light bulb sometimes.
This light bulb, the one that you're seeing, because the rest of the time we use
Light
lamps.
bulb. Yes, but we have oil lamps as well. I have one right in front of me, actually. See? Anyway, so yeah, we're just here to answer a bunch of questions. We have been off grid for, oh golly, this coming May will be 4 years. So 3.5 years-ish we've been off grid. So it's been an adventure.
And I'm going to try and pull up
So-
my other phone, and so I can read your guys' questions and
And thank you for the
and
likes.
stuff. Yes.
Yes, we have chickens. I thought I had 8 hens, but I have 7. One of them turned out to be roosters. So now I have 2 roosters. So we've got 7 hens and 2 roosters. So far the roosters are getting along, so we'll keep them both as long as they are, but we'll see how that goes. But we aren't getting a whole lot of eggs right now. Only 3 of our hens were actually laying this year because the rest of them were babies and they aren't old enough yet. So, average or potential amount to get a place like this started. So, basically, our house itself, the shell of it was $15,000, and we had that built by the Amish. They came in, put it up in one day, and we did everything else ourselves. Everything else on the inside, the electrical stuff for the solar, the plumbing, just the drywall, the ceiling, the stove, everything. We did it all ourselves with the knowledge of YouTube. We didn't know what we were doing at first. So, start to finish, from getting the septic system put in, all the way to moving in, was about 33,000. So it's very affordable as far as having your own house goes. We were living in a camper at the time when we built the place, and so we we decided we didn't want to take out a loan on our land, basically, so that if something, God forbid, ever happened, they couldn't take our home from us. So we took out a loan against our camper to build this place. So we're technically debt free as far as the house goes, but we'll be completely debt free altogether here in a few months, which is so exciting. Kids. I do not have children, but he does. He has 3 from a previous marriage. They are 13, 15, and 16 years old, but they live 14 hours away from us now, so we don't get to see them very much. But when they did come here more often, they would stay with us, and they stayed up here in the loft. We have beds up there. Somebody wants to know what this live stream is about. So basically, we just wanted to go live for fun and chat with whoever wanted to be on here watching, and answer any questions folks might have about living in a tiny house or living off grid or any homesteading stuff, and just hang out with folks. And we haven't done this in a while.
We've got some barefoot transition stuff, and we've had a lot of people ask about our barefoot shoes and etc. So
yeah, because we tried to live as naturally as possible. I have converted my entire wardrobe, with the exception of this one last hoodie I'm hanging on to natural fiber clothing. We do grounding outside. All of our beauty products, our shampoo and lip balm and face care and stuff like that, we make ourselves.
All of your beauty products.
Yeah, he doesn't use any beauty products. He's just naturally beautiful.
Yeah, there it is. Barefoot shoes.
Anyway, and we try to do all of that as naturally as possible. So last December we converted over to barefoot shoes, basically because I started looking into it because I had problems with my feet, and I was just tired of being squished in my shoes and having pain, and so we converted to barefoot shoes, and it just kind of flowed right along with the way we try to live our lives as naturally as possible. So are going to talk about that some tonight. Do you do stuff a lot, or do you do stuff and you can also I have no idea what that means. That question. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not completely sure what you're asking in that last question there, Nimco. I'm sorry if I said that wrong, but we do not do lives very often, mostly just because homesteading keeps us very busy. But we do try to post videos of stuff that's going on around the homestead as much as we can. So.
Yes, there is a lot of stuff that goes on, especially in the firewood section and the garden.
Yeah, during garden season, we post a lot more videos for sure.
And that and firewood season is probably the hardest time for me to get any kind of content out because, well, you can't split wood with one hand and hold a phone with the other.
Yeah. So anyway, like I said, we're just hanging out with you guys here. If you want to see the house, let me know. I'll take the camera on a little tour. Next live stream do spunky. I have no idea what that means. I'm sorry. We are old people. We are almost 40. So if that means something like slang or young people talk, I have no idea what you're talking about. So yeah, we don't even.
Hi Angie, good to see you.
We don't even own a television, so we're definitely not up on the things of the world. We're just kind of in our own little land here, doing our own little thing. But if you want to see the house, I'll take the camera around, give you a little tour. If you have any questions about how anything operates around here while he's doing his thing, I'm heating up dinner at the moment. just, yeah, put your questions down there or whatever you want to talk about, and we'll get on to the shoes here whenever he wants to, I guess.
Well, I'm ready.
Okay, well, I guess he's ready to start talking about barefoot shoes. So I'm going to go work on heating up dinner and let him take over this video for a moment.
So, has anybody dealt with barefoot shoes at all? Anybody other than us? I know there's some people out there that has. She got into it before I did, but I got deeply into Vivo Barefoot, and these boots have been through the ringer. I do not take care of them. They're treated just like any other boot. And I tell you what, I used to have a lot of back issues, had a lot of back pain, and the transition was pretty rough.
Talk about what barefoot shoes actually are, what makes them barefoot shoes. And you're getting mud on my clean floors.
Oh, sorry. Well, barefoot shoes is about the closest you can come to I'm going to have to put them over here. About the closest you can come to walking barefoot as possible. They're very... Let me get a pair of clean shoes so I can do this without making a mess. These are the shoes that I wear to work. But these are some Vivo Barefoot Gobi. I don't remember what the actual title is, but as far as barefoot shoes, they are extremely flexible. Roll them up. They have just a few millimeter thick sole, and you get a lot of ground feel. You get a lot of, you can feel just about everything, to be honest. Yeah, they let your toes spread out because it's got a real wide toe box. And, well, I'll let you talk about that kind of stuff, because that's your thing. But the Vivo Barefoot brand for me has been, I mean, my go-to, just about everything I need. She's tried, man, what all have you tried?
Vivo Barefoot, Zero shoes, Real Foot.
And you said the Real Foot
They
were,
can't hear me, you're going to have to tell them.
you said the Real Foot was,
The widest.
they were the biggest shoe. Can you guys hear her in the background?
Probably not. Hold on.
They might be able to hear you in the background. They said they could hear me.
I have several brands of barefoot shoes, but this one is the brand Real Foot, and this is the farmer style. And this is the widest toe box shoe that I have ever had, and it's, I think, the widest toe box barefoot shoe on the market. So it really lets your toes completely spread out as you're walking, like they were designed to do. There's so many bones in your feet and muscles, and today's shoes basically keep your feet in like a prison, but they're extremely flexible and very wide. So yeah, I have several brands, but this is probably the one I like the most just because there's so much room in there. Back to you.
Yeah, we've tried a lot of different shoes. I used to have your typical logger boots because that's what worked for me. But I mean, with these barefoot shoes, I'm not going back. We've had them for over a year now, and over a year, the first probably 3 to 4 months transition was awful, and it wasn't unbearable, but it was pretty rough because you get tender and you don't really know it. And then when you start walking in shoes where you can feel the ground, it really makes a big difference as far as, you know, how fast you can walk, how hard you can walk. It makes a big difference.
And as far as like the function of your foot goes, he basically had no arch at all in his feet. He had flat pancake feet before barefoot shoes. And what happens when you wear shoes with too much arch support and too much support in general, unless you have a medical problem that requires you to do so, but is the muscles in your arches. You actually have 3 sections to the arch in your foot. They get weak and they will fall and stop working because they're being supported by the shoe and they don't need to do anything. So since he's been a year in barefoot shoes, those muscles have been strengthened and actually are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and he now actually has an arch in his foot. It's crazy. I've never seen anything change like that before. So
Because God didn't design us with shoes.
Yeah.
We're designed to go out and live in the outside world without shoes. So it makes a huge difference. But if you get a chance to try a barefoot shoe, go for it because I greatly enjoy it. And I was worried about the soles are so thin, they're gonna last very long. These shoes, the ones the Vivos that I have that are my work boots, they have Michelin soles. And I want to tell you what, after a year, I can see a little bit of wear, but there's not hardly anything on there. So the Michelin soles are pretty great. I've got these have the standard Vivo soles, which you can see how minimal the tread design is. And I don't have any wear on those either. Of course, it's like a semi tire. The more tread that you have on the ground, the longer the tire lasts. The less tread you have on the ground, the shorter the tire lasts because of pounds per square inch. And I'm not going to bore you with all that, but that's the technical side. She's stirring dinner over there, and it's looking pretty great.
I didn't even make this.
No, but you're warming it up. See, you guys got to see. Stirring dinner. See, we cook.
Not now. There we go.
Cook on the wood stove. It's the only way to have it. Only way. You guys are sitting on the table, so it's pretty small in here. So what you guys got any questions? What do you want to talk about? I got all kinds of things. Let's hear it. What do you want to talk about? Because it's been so long since we've done a live, it's hard to tell what's changed out there and what hasn't. I know Doug talks about world events all the time, and it's crazy what's going on out there. But other than that, we're just hanging out, fixing dinner, enjoying a slow evening. Because I like to have a slow evening. And I've got some, how's your weather? Oh, man, the weather's been a roller coaster, hasn't it?
Yeah, we have all 4 seasons in a day.
It was 50, like 56 today. This past weekend, it was 60 degrees.
Tomorrow's going to be 41.
Tomorrow's going to be 41. Angie's in Kentucky. Weather is way better than Ohio. Well, we're right next to Ohio, but yes, it is way better than Ohio. There are some people that got several inches of snow up north in Ohio, and it was pretty rough up there. We've got some drivers that go up there, and they said that it's pretty bad snow. But yeah, the weather. Of course, some of the weather's been nice. We went out and got buckets done. Angie got buckets done. We've been working in the wood during the nice weather, so we've got a lot of wood split. I've had some wood deliveries done. So taking advantage of the nice weather has been pretty great. Angie's been painlessly working on her little loofah scrub sponges that she's been selling.
If you want to show them.
Yeah, we grew loofah this year. Of course, if you guys have seen any of the garden videos and stuff like that, I'm sure you've seen the loofah, but Angie's been processing the loofah, and she's been making, I'll grab a few of them. She's been making double-sided loofah sponges that she's been selling. She's got some where she's, made like 100% cotton backs and loofah scrubbies on the other side. And she's got different colors. She's been all over the place working on these for hours and hours and hours. But she's been selling them, and a lot of people have been really happy with them. So we've just been extremely busy. But it's nice to have a slow night, isn't it?
I guess so.
You guess so?
I had a whole slow day, so.
Oh. Well, I still had to go to work, so there was no slow day for me. So what's going on interesting down in Kentucky? Anything exciting in the news down there?
I don't know what happened to all of our 15 people. They must not be into off-grid stuff.
Angie knits and crochets also.
Oh, she does?
Yep, she said we didn't do a garden this year because we moved mid-June, but I am prepping for next year. Good for you. Prepping for next year. They're almost to the Tennessee border.
What kinds of things does she grow?
What kind of things do you grow, Angie? Almost to the Tennessee border.
I feel like we should know her somehow.
Well, she is a OG.
Oh.
She has been around from
This
the very
whole time
beginning.
I thought she was your mom's friend, Angie.
No, this is Angie that's the OG of this channel. She's been here since the very beginning.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And it's great to have you. Tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, ground cherries, cucamelons. You know what those are?
No.
Beans. I don't know what ground cherries are, but I like cherries. So, you had me at cherries. Beans. We tried beans. Of course, we do green beans, but I tried black beans this year. I tried lima beans.
It's not worth it. Just buy them.
It did not turn out well for us. Of course, this year was awful. I mean, with as dry as it was, we were pumping water to water the garden every night for hours.
Can you not read that from here?
There are fruit in a paper.
A fruit in a paper.
I have never had anything like that.
I'm gonna have to Google that.
Yeah, we'll have to research that. Maybe it's something we'll be able to grow here.
Huh.
Oh, I remember. Yes. I met you both at that store we don't mention. Absolutely. They were there she was there for the Doug and Stacy thing.
Okay.
I remember now.
That's
I got a
funny.
bad memory. Sorry. Sorry about that.
We still go to that store though. Don't tell anyone.
We have been there twice since then, maybe.
I still enjoy it though. They got good stuff.
Yeah. They do have good stuff. And they have the stuff that we need for this lifestyle, sadly. But one place we have not been since all of that happened was Tractor Supply. Well, I have not stepped foot in that building. I have not spent a penny, nothing, to that company at all. So, but it's hard with that other company to not get something. You know, we have found Aladdin parts on Amazon. So, we're able to get Aladdin stuff. We're able to get Aladdin oil on Amazon and not have to go through them, which is great.
She's now officially the only one watching us besides your other phone.
Well, I'm glad she's here.
Thank you for watching. We had like 15 people at the beginning, and I think they just thought this was boring and bowed out.
Well, we don't live the lifestyle that everybody else lives, so other people is going to think it's boring. And that's okay. Because we don't have to answer to them. And we're going to be the ones that'll, and Angie, I'm sure yourself, we're going to be the ones that's going to be all right when everything goes. Because I heard just tonight Doug saying that January 21st, all kinds of bad things are going to happen.
They even admitted that they have diseases ready to be released the day after Trump goes into office.
Yeah.
That's scary.
That's pretty bad.
He named the diseases too, this dude. I can't remember what his name was, but he literally brought it out into the public.
How bold can you be? How bold do you have to be in the world to throw it in people's faces and still very few people say anything? But we hope the best for you getting back to your garden. We hope the best for you, Angie, on your garden this coming year. We all hope and pray that it was better than this year, because this year was pretty rough.
It was very dry. That's hot.
Angie said, I heard that too. It's crazy. I saw the live. We have a wood stove, generator, battery backup, food stored.
That's
Hey, good for you. Props for you. You're going to be one of the few just like us. So that's great.
Got a couple new watchers. So.
We got a generator too. You know, do we use our generator? Absolutely. Can you live 100% off grid without electricity? Yes. If you have electricity and you have solar, you have a generator for backup.
Unless you live in an area where it is sunny all the time. If you live in the Carolinas or Florida or California or something, Hawaii, whatever, you could probably live off grid without having a generator. But we got to have that help because we go already this fall. It's not even officially winter yet, and we have had maybe, I don't know, since October, 3 sunny days, like, altogether. So every maybe every 4 or 5 days, we have to run the generator for a whole day to charge our batteries back up. But it's still better than having a power bill.
Yeah. What's 5 gallons of gasoline a month? Ooh, this is going to break the bank here.
There's 2 new watchers for the moment, so why don't you tell them what we're all about real quick.
Hello everybody, new watchers. We're here hanging out tonight talking about off-grid life, tiny house living, the things of the world, the barefoot shoe that we got going on. So if you got a question, throw one out there. We want to talk to you. We got plenty of time before dinner's ready. Got dinner on the stove. Oh yeah, dinner on the wood stove. For those new watching. And my wonderful wife is preparing it. Angie said they aren't off grid, but they can be minimal when needed. Lanterns too. Can't go wrong with lamps. We've been going to antique stores and been trying to find oil lamps, good ones in good shape, ones that somebody hasn't already butchered up and put electric light bulbs
Show
in.
my little teeny ones there.
Oh yeah. Angie's real proud of these. She has her little teeny oil lamp. Oh, you can't really, it's kind of hard to see.
Here's with the size of my hand. It's a little baby.
Yeah.
It's just for fun. It doesn't put off a whole lot of light.
Yeah, her little teeny oil lamp. This is the bathroom lamp.
Not anymore. It lives out here.
It lives out here now.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a small lamp. Teeny lamps just for fun. That's all there is. We found some at the flea market. That's so cute. She likes your lamp.
That was given to us by a very dear friend. That little baby lamp. It's precious.
But they're fun. They bring enjoyment. But it's hard to find good oil lamps anymore.
I love using the lamps because we have this light on right now that's connected to our solar system. It's just like a regular, you can't see what it looks like in there, it's just a glare. It's like a pendant light with a regular LED bulb in it, and I hate that because the LED bulbs have that really strange flicker that you can't see unless you take a slow-mo video of it, and they're terrible for your eyes, and they're terrible for your sleep. They're just terrible, and I hate them. So, but we had to turn it on to see for the video because the oil lamp is not quite bright enough for that. So, I hate using this light, but then part of me hates using the oil lamps because they cost money to use, and this doesn't. So, it's just like,
And
what do you do?
Try and find incandescent bulbs.
There's still some on Amazon. We need to probably swipe some up before, because they're starting May of 2025. They're banning the original light bulbs. Anything that's not LED will be banned.
It's hard to find
because these LEDs make you sick, and that's what they want. They want you to be sick. and they're terrible for you. They put off EMFs, and they disrupt your sleep cycle. They disrupt everything. And they're banning everything that's good for you. The original light bulbs were good for you because they had the full rainbow spectrum of light, as I learned today in Doug and Stacy's live video. And they're banning anything that's good for you. They want us to be sick and dependent on the system. It's just awful.
It's awful. Oop. Almost lost you guys. Angie said they have 10 oil lamps.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, they got way more than we do.
Yeah.
What? How many do we have now? Maybe they don't. Maybe yeah. 1, 2. Well, do you count the little ones?
We have 6.
We have 6.
Mm-hmm.
Is that counting the little itty bitty things?
Yeah, that's counting. Oh no, 7 if you count that little one up there that works, and that's including the 2 downstairs.
Oh.
So 7 altogether if you count all sizes.
And we got one oil lamp that I think is pretty cool. It's got a swivel base.
I don't like
She doesn't like it.
it. It's so small.
You can mount it to a wall, or you can mount it to any surface really, and it stays level. But it's got a really small oil chamber in it.
Well, it's not the smallness of the oil chamber that I don't like. It's the fact that it's metal and you can't see when you're running out. So, like, it just goes out because you can't tell how much oil's left. That's what I don't like about it. Which is why we don't use it.
But I like it because I could mount it to the wall. Let's see. Moon Rockin' Off. Hey, what's up, bud? What are we talking about? We're talking about off-grid living, tiny house living, barefoot shoes. You name it, we're talking about it. Current
Basically,
events.
getting back to living the way God intended for folks to live is what we try to strive to do. But if you're new here, we live in a 320 square foot tiny house. If you'd like
Yes.
to see it, we are glad to show that to you. Just let
Like
us
being
know.
one with nature, absolutely.
Yeah.
We do grounding.
As much as well, you don't do grounding. He doesn't ground because he has sissy feet. But
I ground when I fall on it.
I literally take entire walks with my dog down our gravel driveway, down the pavement road that we live out. I mean, we live in the country, but that we are blessed to have a paved road. I will walk all of that with no shoes on in the warm months. So that's what I do. But I haven't yet got him to ground because his feet are tender little baby feet.
I ground when I fall down. What's wrong with that?
You shouldn't fall down on a regular basis.
I ground when I work with firewood. We talk about firewood processing, firewood deliveries. I mean, we do all kinds of stuff. So shoot me a question. Other than that, we're just hanging out, talking, having a good time. But oil lamps, we've got a lot. I really like that one that hangs. Oh, let's see. Is it like the religion of people with long beards? Religion of people with
Like
long
the
beards.
Amish?
I mean, if you're talking about the Amish, we're not quite that wild. And I don't mean wild as in it's crazy, but I mean we're not quite that strict.
And ours isn't. The way we live does not come from a standpoint of religion either. We don't do it because we feel like we have to because we're following some sort of set of religious rules. We live this way. First of all, it started out because I've always wanted a tiny house because I don't like to have a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Then we decided to go off grid because we wanted to be financially free. So that's kind of what started everything. But the more research we do, the more we learn about how, the things that the FDA and the government and all these things say, oh, you got to do this because this is good for you, that it's not actually good for you. And we're learning more and more how to take care of our bodies in a way that God actually designed us to take care of our bodies. And, we read our Bibles and what he has to say in there about certain things. And so the more we learn, the more we just want to do this stuff just so that we can be as healthy as we possibly can.
When she's talking about, I see your question about like tax free. No, we still pay taxes. We pay property.
Sadly.
We pay property taxes. We pay personal property taxes. No, when she means as free, she means as free as possible. We do not have an electricity bill because we're on solar. We do not have a television. We do not have a natural gas bill because we heat, cook. Right.
In the windowsill for a moment. Yeah, so I know we lost people, but I hope you guys come back. So yeah, bear with us when things like that happen. Are you watching?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Screen froze.
Is some
No, her phone actually just shut.
somebody with us again?
Nope.
We got 2 watchers.
Well, I'm one of them.
One of them's you, so one of them's somebody else.
Yep.
My phone got hot and died. Well, we'll give it a few minutes to wait for you folks to come back. Angie's there
still here.
Thanks for hanging in. My phone just got really hot, and then because they had a case on, plus it was plugged into the charger, plus I was running a video, plus we're cooking, and I didn't have the windows open, so it was just like really hot, way too hot.
You can't plug yours in right there, can you?
Yeah, if I do it from here.
Well, if you put it on the stand, see, because your plug-in's on the bottom.
Yeah, just get that other cord.
I don't have the other cord.
Well, get the cord out of the wall is what I'm saying.
Oh. All right, we're gonna put you up here in the window. We're gonna put you in the window where all the nice cool air comes through. You'll at least be able to see the house.
Yeah,
As long as the light doesn't blind you.
it's too tall.
Well, I'm gonna turn it down. All right, let's get you plugged in.
If you were just now joining us, we were talking all things off-grid and homesteading, and my phone got really hot and shut off and ended our live stream, so we had to start over. So we're back, and the view is a little different now because you're in my kitchen windowsill so that my phone can be right in front of the cool air.
Yes, the problems with having a hot house because we live off grid and we have a wood stove, which you can see right over there, fixing our dinner.
It's done now.
It's done now?
I mean, it's really hot, so you'll want to let it cool off.
Oh yeah, it's gonna have to cool off, especially being on the wood stove. Let's see here, Mike. How big is your house, if I may ask? It is 320 square feet.
And if you'd like to see it, we are happy to take the phone around and give a little tour.
Yes, 320 square feet. Other than the outside shell, we've built everything ourselves. Inside and out. I did all the plumbing, electrical.
We had
solar.
help from my mom sometimes, and my brother came in and did the drywall.
Yes, we had hands that helped, which was great. We needed help. Mike said, yes, please, if that's okay.
Yeah. We
We'll
have
go for
to
it.
give it a minute for our dinner to cool off so that it's edible. So while we're waiting on that, we'll go ahead and give you a tour. Let me flip the camera around. Okay. So if you come in the front door, this is the first thing you'll see. This is our wood stove. As he said, we turn that down if it's not down, where we heat the house and cook our food in the wintertime. In the summertime, we have a grill on the front porch that we cook with so that we don't have to heat the house up in the winter. We have 14-foot ceilings, which makes it feel a lot bigger than it really is in here. And these are rough cut poplar boards. There's our front door. Got a little entryway here. We hang our jackets. We have a cabinet there. We keep like my dog's leash and my essential oils and some other stuff in. We had to bring our banana tree in for the winter too so it didn't die. So it's hanging out right there. All right, let me come back around this way. So we've got a little table here that we sit and eat at. I also work from home sometimes, so that's where I set my laptop and I'll work from home there. We've got a sofa. Your shoes are still in the middle of the floor.
Well, I'm gonna leave them there in case somebody wants to talk about barefoot shoes. I'm gonna get some wood because I
And
got
then in the wintertime, whoops, I just ran into him. In the wintertime, we have this set up with our furniture so that we don't set the couch on fire. But in the summer, we take the sofa and we put it along this wall under the window so that we have more open space here in the floor. Okay, so then our kitchen, right now for a refrigerator, we have this small deep freeze that we use as a refrigerator. We've got a conversion kit on it. It is a lot more efficient than a refrigerator, and it's not as taxing on our solar setup. And then our kitchen here, you see our dinner cooling on the countertop. We just have a little one-wall kitchen. Got our spices and stuff up here, the recipe book section. This is one of the oil lamps we light with when we're not filming videos. And we've got like our drink station right there with teacups and his coffee stuff and all that.
And if you want hot water in our house, you gotta make it.
Okay, so here we go. Since he's doing this right now, we'll just show you the bathroom. Hey, pop open that shower curtain real quick so we can show him the shower. So we have a normal size shower. We had to because, as you can see, he's not a small dude. His children are not small kids either. They're like 6 feet tall. So we had to have a normal size shower. It's just a shower base with the metal wall surround. I made the shower curtain out of a canvas drop cloth. You know, we're thrifty around here. We got our little tiny IKEA sink from IKEA and our little itty bitty window. And he is now making hot water for us to take showers after a bit once our live is done. This is our wood-fired hot water tank. So as you can see, he is lighting the fire in the center. Around the outside, point to the water jacket, would you? Where you can see that weld there, there's another tube around that tube, and inside is encased water. So as the fire heats up, it heats up the water that surrounds it, and then we can turn on our faucets just like everybody else and have hot water. So
And screaming hot water. As much as you want, as fast as you can take it.
Moonrock, the total square footage of our house, including the loft space, is 320 square feet. And I know you joined us again a little bit late after we restarted this video after my phone shut off, so let me show you the living room area again. And as I said before, we have 14-foot ceilings, so it does feel larger in here than what it actually is. Moving on to the next room, our bedroom is here to the right of the bathroom. It's nothing fancy. It's just is what it is. It's a little dark because we don't have a light in there, but we've got this curtain that we can pull across for privacy when the kids are here, or if it gets too hot from the wood stove. We also have a DeWalt ceiling, or a DeWalt job site fan attached to our ceiling.
DeWalt ceiling fan.
Would you move this water bottle that I keep tripping over, please?
Kicking my water bottle.
And then here are the stairs to our loft. Our closet where we keep our clothes is underneath the stairs, and I'll head up and show you the loft. If I can walk up the stairs and video at the same time without falling down. Okay, so here we are up in the loft. Wow, the lighting is bad. What can I do about the lighting?
There.
He's gonna get me, the stick light is down there by the bed, in between. He's gonna get me a light real quick, so that I can show you the loft better. But while I'm waiting on that, let me show you the aerial view of the house here. Oh, he's coming with the light. Thank you. Okay, so here's the aerial view of the downstairs. We've got the kitchen and the living area. And like I said a little bit ago, we put the couch this way along this wall in the summer when the wood stove is not on. Then we don't have to worry about setting it on fire. So, okay. Here is the loft. When you first come up the stairs, you see this first bed and my very hungry cat. We had 3 beds up here, but we downsized to 2 because only 2 of his kids actually do come to visit at the same time now, so we didn't need all 3. So we've got this bed here, a floating nightstand in the middle. We have my sewing desk, and then his daughter's bed on the other side. And in the wintertime, we bring all of our any baby trees that we're raising. We've got these fig trees right now that we're raising. We bring them inside, and they live up here so they can stay warm. And then we've got a fan that plugs in right here too. So if we cook, burn something, or we're working with the stove and we fill the house with smoke, we can plug this in and it shoves air out. So, yep, it's very helpful. He doesn't come up here much. I feed the cat up here. I come up here to sew sometimes, but he doesn't really come up here.
I come up to water my fig trees.
Yeah, he waters his fig trees. That's about it. So anyway, yeah, that's the house. I'm gonna set this back in the windowsill. Oh. Okay, we gotta get this plugged back in real quick. So yeah, that's the tour of our little house. No, we have no air conditioning. None at all. At first, it was a little rough sleeping at night. We struggled with that because we just weren't used to it. But now, if we go somewhere where there is air conditioning, like sometimes we go to a town a couple hours away and we stay with a friend of mine to visit, and he's got air conditioning, or if we're ever at my mom's or something with air conditioning, we freeze because we're just not used to it anymore. And sometimes we still do get a little bit hot, but our bodies have just adapted, and really, we have such good insulation in this house, and we don't have very many windows, so in the summertime, it really doesn't get horribly hot. It's 10 to 15 degrees cooler in here than it is outside, wouldn't you say? Yeah.
Yep,
So
it is.
we have the fan and everything, and that's good enough, really. So we haven't had any issues with not having AC. People think we're nuts, and they're like, oh, I could never live like that, but I mean, people lived before it was invented, so.
Yeah, I grew up that way. We didn't have air conditioning in my house. I grew up on a dairy farm, so yeah, for me it was a shock to go back to that. But I mean, after the first year, you get used to it. Your body adapts.
Are you ready to eat while we talk to them? We're gonna eat our dinner while we talk to you guys, if that's all right.
Are we really?
Why not? It's gonna get cold, and then I'll have to heat it up again.
Oh.
So, if you wouldn't mind, join us for just a
Well,
moment in blessing the food.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
do it. All right. Dear Lord, thank you for this wonderful day that you blessed us with. Lord, thank you for those that have joined us on the live stream, Lord, and I hope that you can reach out and touch and bless each one of them, Lord, and walk through them with us through this world. Lord, bless this food and may it nourish our bodies. All this in your holy and precious name. Amen.
All right.
So
Thank
anyway,
you. Thank
it's still
you.
too hot for me to eat, but
Y'all would
she can go
love
ahead and
living
eat.
in Mexico then. I've never been to Mexico.
I have not been to Mexico either.
He has been accused of being Mexican.
I have
This is your
too.
sandwich,
Yeah,
by the way.
that's mine.
Yeah.
Yes, I have been accused of that. In my younger years, I had a lowrider, and I used to live in Columbus, Ohio. And for some odd reason, I was accused of that. I don't know.
Well, you get really tan, too.
I do
in the
tan
summer.
pretty well, to
Okay,
be
so
honest.
we're having chili for dinner that somebody made the other day and we brought home. I eat peanut butter sandwiches with my chili. He hates peanut butter. He loads up his chili with cheese and he's having a grilled cheese sandwich. Which do you feel is the correct way to eat chili? With cheese or with peanut butter? Just want to vote here.
I think I want to.
You're being very dramatic.
The way y'all choose to live life exactly how almost all Mexicans live over there, but to them,
wow.
it's not really an option.
That's interesting.
Huh. Hey, learn something new every day. Because I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Hey, if we're not learning, we're dying. Heard that before, many times. If you're not living, you're dying.
I can't wait to see if people
Oh.
will vote for peanut butter versus cheese.
This is something else, too, that we do a little bit different than other people. Most people talk about silverware. What are you eating with? Are you eating with silverware?
Right now I'm eating with a sandwich.
Eating with yeah, you and that weird sandwich. We have woodenware. Wooden spoons, wooden forks, wooden butter
I mean,
knives.
look, we got real stuff too.
Yeah, she's got real stuff, but
For when guests come over.
I like the woodenware for some odd reason. Wait.
Yes, the poll is grilled cheese versus peanut butter with chili. I vote peanut butter all the way. Well, I mean, I'm not supposed to have dairy anymore, so I have to vote peanut butter now. But even before, I could not have a bowl of chili without a peanut butter sandwich.
Peanut butter ain't no good. Almost. What is this spoon for? Anything?
Mine. For
Oh,
me
it's
to
your
eat my
spoon?
soup with. I'll get another one.
Grilled cheese is on another level. Oh yeah, you the man.
Try raw goat milk. Well, I would if I knew anybody who milked goats.
Oh, goat milk. Hey, I grew up on a dairy farm. I don't know about this whole goat milk thing. Cow milk right here. Cow.
I would try goat milk, but I don't know. Like, I don't have access to it, so.
You know, I don't even think I've had goat cheese.
I love goat cheese.
Have y'all had goat cheese?
And the reason that I'm not, I got raw cow milk. Ah, that's so nice. See, the reason that I'm not supposed to eat dairy anymore is because my cholesterol was high. So I was cutting out some of the things. I had to cut out dairy and a lot of red meat, which I do still eat red meat if we get it locally and I know where it comes from, but not horribly often. But also I have really bad seasonal allergies and some other autoimmune stuff going on, so I cut out gluten, dairy, and sugar altogether, and it really helps. So this bread that I am currently eating is Ezekiel bread, and it's the only bread that has gluten in it that doesn't bother me. So
Well, if you're ever
we have a question.
in the Mid Ohio Valley, all right, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna put this in here, right there, Florence Creamery. If you want some real milk, Angie, and you're ever up this way, we'll hook you up. You just come out the house, we'll take care of it.
Yes, we do not have cattle. He grew up on a dairy farm, like you said, and so he wants nothing to do with cattle. But also, we only have 2.5 acres, so we really don't have enough land to be able to have very many cows to have it be worth it. So we have sheep, and I have chickens. I don't know if we'll add anything else later. I would like to have goats again just for fun because I used to, but they don't really serve a purpose unless you have a dairy goat, I guess. But currently, I do have to go out of town for work sometimes, and so we can't really have something that requires being milked every day.
But we have sheep, and those are great because all they need is grass and water. But Angie is on to something.
Which one?
Angie
This
Becker.
oh.
Yeah, she is on to something because 2.5 acres, that's a lot of land. Well, to some people, 2.5 acres is a lot of land. I came from 300 plus. So 2.5 acres to me is just a little, that's a yard.
And for the amount of cows that you can have per acre, we wouldn't be able to have as many cows as we can have sheep.
But Angie was saying,
Grind your own grain.
yes, grind your own grain. I have been
Maybe someday.
researching Nutrimills and mock mills, and I've kind of landed on Nutrimills that I'm leaning more towards because of the, I guess, reviews, and they have stone versus metal mills, so I'm leaning more towards the stone mill. We started doing it, and we love it.
I have to say, I've never stood at the kitchen sink and ate my dinner before.
What kind of mill did you get? That's my question.
Moon Rock. Where are you from? We're in West Virginia. We just like to know where our viewers are coming from, just for fun. Oh, you grew up with a front yard smaller than our house. That's very sad. I'm sorry.
I am.
Texas. Okay, cool. I've never been to Texas. Have you?
Nope, never been to Texas.
I hear everything's bigger there. Is that true? And by everything, what do they mean exactly? Like literally everything?
Texas. I think, wasn't our friend John from Texas?
Everything is bigger and better. Okay. Except your yards. Apparently.
KitchenAid mixer. Looking at the Nutrimill.
Oh, that's why he knows so much about Mexico, because he's literally right there.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense
to it. I
now.
would like to visit Texas one day. I hear it's pretty cool.
The food portions, everything. Hey, I want a good steak. If I go somewhere, I'm looking for steak.
I'm sure they have big steaks in Texas.
But the Nutrimill, I'm really looking into that. When you have wheat berries that'll last up to 3 years, and flour technically only lasts 6 months, that's stuff you buy from the store, if it's really flour.
Hey, I grew up poor too, man. I grew up with divorced parents since I was 2, and I lived with my dad a lot, and we didn't really know where our meals were coming from sometimes. We would go, like, several days without showers because our water was shut off or our electric was shut off in the wintertime of all things. And I totally understand.
Humble beginnings lead to great men. Don't be ashamed of that.
And we're still poor by the standards of most people because we don't have much. Like, we drive vehicles from 2011 and 2013, and I get my clothes at yard sales and thrift shops. We definitely don't have a lot, but we're happy with what we do have, so that's important.
And this lifestyle is rough. I mean, it's expensive to start. Once you do start it, it gets cheaper as it goes on.
Well, it's not that it was really super expensive because $33,000 from start to finish for a home is not much.
That's including sweat equity. You can't fluff it up for them. That's
I mean,
sweat
for
equity.
us doing it ourselves. However, it was kind of expensive in the way that we did it all at once, like just jump in both feet, and so we literally had to switch everything like right away. So in that way it was expensive because we didn't have the luxury of just doing it slowly.
Hello, Nancy. I'm glad that you're close to us there.
I love thrift shops. Love them because, I mean, people get rid of the best stuff, and I've been able to have some things, whether it be household stuff or clothing or whatever, that are really nice things that I would have never been able to afford new just because somebody was sick of it. So that's really the only way to go.
Well, Moon Rock, if you want to see countryside and you want to see a beautiful area, come to the Mid-Ohio Valley. Take a tour around Parkersburg, West Virginia, around Marietta, Ohio. Go to some of the outskirt towns. You'll see some beautiful countryside.
Mm-hmm. West Virginia is beautiful. Mountains everywhere. Finding the land that you want to put a whole month. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, Nancy, exactly. Gotcha. You have big cities in certain areas. What does the countryside in Texas look like? Is it flat? Or like, do you have woods or mountains or, I've never been anywhere near there. That does sound pretty, Angie.
Angie's near the Daniel Boone National Forest.
Moon Rock is in Texas, Nancy. I'm not sure what part of Texas, but he said Texas. Oh, Nancy lives in Michigan. I've never been to Michigan. Honestly, I haven't been much of anywhere.
I've been to Michigan. I've been to Kalamazoo, and I've been to Lansing, Michigan. I went up there to a Hobart welding facility and dropped off some welding wire. But I've been to Lansing and Kalamazoo.
I've been to Hawaii one time. And then I've been to Ohio, obviously, and the Carolinas. But outside of that, I've not really been beyond West Virginia. Yeah, it would be hard to decide. We didn't have that situation where we got the ability to choose where we wanted to put our home. It just kind of fell into place. My mom, after my stepdad passed away, she and I moved in together with my ex on 7 acres. And then my ex, split, long story, but it was just too much for my mom and I to take care of. The house itself was way too large for just her and I. And so she decided to sell it, but before she did, she split off 2.5 acres and sold to me for $1,000. And that was before he and I were married. We were just dating by this time. And so we just got blessed with this chunk of land, and we didn't have to think about where we want to live. And it just happens to be an area that I grew up in when I was younger, and we know that it was very safe and the neighborhood's lovely. So I can't imagine being in a position where you get to choose wherever you want to live and like trying to decide, where do I want to plant this forever? That would be really hard.
Sports, Moon Rock. I don't have TV, but I do. I basically only keep up with my kids' sports. My kids are football players. They're wrestlers. They're juniors and or sophomores and juniors in high school. So I get to watch them, via YouTube, etc. And that's the only sports that I keep up with. And trust me, when having three kids and trying to keep up with football, wrestling, volleyball, it's a lot to keep up with. So outside of that, yeah, I like to see the High Buckeyes play. I like to watch the Buckeyes. Big Buckeyes
Only because
fan.
your son wants to play for them.
Well, like I said, I lived in Columbus for a while, so OHIO. But
But no, we do not have a radio either. I mean, we have the radio. Well, I have a radio in my car. The radio in his truck has died long ago. But
we have our phones. That's it. Just our phones.
I just listen to Christian music when I'm in the car. But yeah, we get our news. We still get the news. We get it on our phones. We watch Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, who talks a lot about what is going on in the world and things like that. So we get our news from sources like that. But it's just basically like what we want to get the news about. We're not flooded with an onslaught of things.
We don't put up with the fear mongering stuff. None of that nonsense. We got a Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah.
We got that.
And I do have a laptop, because I have to use that for my job. But what does Christian music mean? Oh, it is, well, I guess I just say that because that's what I've always heard it called. But basically, songs about Christ and about living for the Lord. And I'm trying to think of anybody famous that you may have heard of. Like, well, Amy Grant is an old one, but just basically,
there's
how
Red.
do you describe that, though?
There's Red. There's Andy Mineo. There's
Lecrae is a Christian artist.
Lecrae. There's.
It's just songs about faith and about living for Christ and about worship music. I don't know what else to call it. I've never had anybody ask that question before, so I've never had to describe it. But K-Love is the channel that I listen to. So if you want to check it out sometime, they're all over the place. They've got channels in every state and every city. Yeah, faith-focused music. That's a good way to describe it, Angie. Thank you for saying that. I'm terrible with words. But I would, if you're interested in checking it out, I would just look up the radio station, K-Love, and it's just the letter K and then the word love.
Hey, and if you got questions about the Lord, we live stream church every Sunday. We'll be happy to send you the link and share the Lord with you. So
we don't run the church.
Yeah, we don't. We're just part of the church.
Yeah, our church does a live stream. Yeah.
But we'll be happy to share the Lord with you if you need that.
For sure.
Which everybody needs it, but if you don't have a church yourself.
I used to listen to KSBJ and supposedly it plays Christian music. Most of the songs are like a good myth. I'm not sure what that is. I've never heard of it. But yeah, if you would like to check out actual, I mean, some of the songs that they play on K-Love are like a good message. It's just positive, encouraging, that kind of music. But
that's not pulling it right off of the
that's what their theme is: positive, encouraging K-Love. But it is positive and encouraging. So some of it is not, the song is not directly worship, but most of it is, but it's modern music, and if you like rap, check out Lecrae or NF, literally the word, or the letter N and the letter F. Those are both really awesome Christian rappers. If you like rock, check out Skillet. They're amazing. We're actually going to go see them live in March at a Winter Jam festival. So yeah, there's a lot of options out there for faith-based music, and it's clean, especially if you have kids and you're listening in the car or whatever, listening at home. You don't have to ever worry about what they're going to hear, what garbage is going to come across when you're listening to stuff like this. So that's about
trying to see if I missed anybody's comment. I don't know that I could move to Texas. I'm already in here, so I'm set. I've got my roots dug in. I don't think I could move to Texas.
I don't know that I could move anywhere.
I think I'm to the part in my life where wherever my kids go, I'm to the point where I want to be able to travel to see them, visit them, and share in their life. I'm done moving myself, basically.
And his kids, there's 3 of them. They're not going to live in the same place. They're going to be all over. So we're going to be everywhere. Hello, Becca. Thanks for joining. If you're new here, Becca, We are in a 320 square foot off-grid tiny house, and we're just talking about things this evening, like, you know, we're talking about off-grid living, natural living. We've talked a little bit about barefoot shoes this evening. We're talking about the Lord just a few minutes ago, which is fantastic. Yeah, we're just talking about whatever you guys want to talk about. Yeah, and you know, you're right, Nancy. I don't know how some people get through some of the things they go through in life without God. I just see so much pain and so much suffering in this world just because of the result of free will and the result of sin being in the world, and I just don't know how people get through without the hope of the Lord. So,
And,
yeah.
and Becca, shoot out a question. We're talking about everything. Everything from barefoot shoes to firewood to cooking on a wood stove. I mean, you name it, we're talking about it. So, shoot a question out. Glad to have you.
Thank you, Moonrock, for subscribing. I really appreciate it, and God bless you too. I hope you join us next time. Stay in
Yep.
touch.
Have a good one. Be safe out there. Moonrock was nice to have with us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We definitely appreciate the interaction. This is the first live we've done in a really long time, and it's the first live we've done on shorts. So we've gotten a lot of people that weren't subscribed to us to kind of watch a little bit, and that's been fun. And if you just are joining us as well, I'm finishing my dinner because we were cooking at the same time, so sorry about that. Some people don't like to see people eat, but I'm almost done, I promise. What's the weather in West Virginia? Okay, so in spring and summer, the weather is very normal, like very typical wet and rainy spring, very typical dry, hot summer. Our humidity, I wouldn't say it's terrible. It's nothing like what Florida is. I've heard Florida's humidity is bad. Humidity here is very average. Fall is very average, like typical what you would think of fall.
Maybe she's just talking about right now.
Well, I'm going to describe it for other people who don't live here too. Our falls are beautiful. If you've never been to West Virginia, we have mountains and hills everywhere, and it is absolutely gorgeous in the fall, and all the leaves changing colors, and it's just, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. It's so pretty. And then once you get to the mid to late of fall, like where we are right now, the weather is very confusing because we have had highs of 30s in the last few weeks. The last few days, it's been highs in the 50s, like the upper 50s. Tomorrow, we're going back down to a high of 38. And so everybody's sinuses go completely wacko, and it's been dark and dreary and sad. So our weather's very strange this time of year.
Yeah. But it is nice on the weekends when, like, day before yesterday, it was 60 degrees. And we got to go out and get some firewood done. Angie got the buckets cleaned because we poop in buckets.
Yep.
Yes, we poop in buckets. You heard that correctly. I did not stutter.
Oh, okay, Becca. She's been following us for about a year now. That's awesome. Thank you for your constant support. Oh, you got
Northern Nevada.
Nevada, okay. Powdered snow. Yes, I remember talking about that.
Powdered snow.
Where it's got no moisture in it, and it's like
yeah.
dry fluff.
Cousin Eddie was telling us about that. The snow up there is just, you could have feet of it, and it was just light and fluffy.
And you can sweep it with a broom and
Yeah,
stuff.
you can blow it with a snow blower. If we get snow here, and you make a snowball here, you will knock somebody out if you hit them
There's
right.
so much
I mean,
moisture
it
in
is
it.
just, it is like a packed boulder.
It's great for snowmen, though. And sleigh riding.
Yeah, we don't do snowball fights. They get pretty bad.
We've never had one. How would you
I haven't
know?
had one with you, no, but I have had a snowball fight.
Okay.
That's why we don't do snowball fights, because I don't like them.
He doesn't like to be hit with stuff. We don't do pillow fights either.
Yeah, no pillow fights. Northern Nevada. Whew. We got people all across the U.S. here.
I know, it's exciting.
I was messaging somebody on YouTube the other day that was watching from Canada. It's pretty awesome how we can all get together like this.
What would you guys like to see us do more videos on, aside from lives? You know, like, what do you want to know more about? Because, like, we sometimes hit a rut where we feel like we've just done so many videos of aspects of our life. We're like, now what do we do a video on? We run out of ideas. I'm getting ready to make some stuff this winter. I've got some new recipes for hair oil, and I just made a headache relief balm and just some different stuff like that that I'm experimenting with. So I will make videos about those things too. But what do you guys want to see?
Becca said, you guys helped me with my fermenting. I kept failing until you helped me succeed.
Oh, that's awesome.
If at first you do not succeed, try again.
I'm so glad we could help, though.
Absolutely.
I mean, we struggle ourselves sometimes. FYI, if you're a woman, do not do any fermenting during the week of Mother Nature, if you know what I mean, because that will ruin all your ferments. We learned that the hard way.
Yeah, she thought I was kidding when I said that.
Okay, so Nancy said, what are the jobs like in West Virginia? I mean, what kind of work do you guys do there? In our town, our area here, the jobs are not super great. Like, if you need a super high paying job and you're not a doctor or a lawyer, they're not super great. But you can get a decent enough job to get by and support your family. I am a realtor. I'm licensed in both West Virginia and Ohio. It's tough here because in our area, I mean, we live in a real small town and there's like 300, little over 300 realtors here in just this small town. So it's hard for us, any of us, to really make a living. So I do have another job. I work part-time for a group called LifeWise Academy, where we offer release time religious instruction for children to leave school during the school day during a non-core class like library or study hall or whatever, and they can receive Bible education during the school day. So I am the program director for that in my area. He used to be a truck driver, and now he works as a dispatch manager for the company that he was driving for. So he's in a nice, cushy office job now.
Angie, those are some great things that this Angie is going to have to do.
What?
And Becca, to answer your question, or to go off of your comment there, we do have a sun oven. If you go back through our videos, I did I believe it was a roast. I believe it was a roast or something like that in our sun oven. I did it outside. It was 25 degrees, I believe. But if you go back to that video, I did temperature tests, and I did, what the temperature was outside. But yes, I do have a wintertime video cooking in the winter, 20-some degrees outside. So be sure to check that out after we get done.
And Angie, I'm going to make a list of those suggestions you just gave, and I will get to working on that.
Sun oven is great. Everybody needs one, two. I'd like to have another one.
Sometimes the one is not big enough.
Yes.
So it would be nice to have two. They're just so expensive, it's hard to get two.
I believe Doug says if you have one, you have nothing. If you have two, you have one. If you have three, what does he say after three?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
One is none, two is one, three is done.
Three is done, that's it, yeah. So, not saying that you need three of everything, but there's some things I'd like to have three of.
What does play spunky mean? What does that even mean? Somebody fill me in.
I don't know what play spunky is. Let's see.
And Angie, as far as like the remedies and stuff, do you have any specific things that you want to learn how to make that I can make videos of? I've got recipes for many things. Many things.
Angie said I can share how to use fresh ground wheat. How do you bake? Oh.
Baking is a struggle. First of all, baking is a struggle for me because I hate it. This lady that I follow on Instagram, this lady that I follow on Instagram, she said, who else bakes when they're stressed out? And I'm like, no, baking stresses me out. I hate it. I've always hated it. But he can show you this thing we have down here that we have baked bread in before successfully. It's right down there on the right. He has. I participated by eating it.
That's on the right.
Yeah, but I just hate baking. Really hate it.
Sun oven pots. Get your pots if you don't have them.
Angie uses our toothpaste recipe. That's awesome. And hey, I don't know what it was that I put in it for flavor when I made that last video about toothpaste, but I have since been using On Guard Essential Oil Blend by doTERRA, and it tastes so good. It's amazing.
Okay, so for the bakers out there that if you're, you don't have to be off grid to have this. You can look at the comments on my phone, but
yeah, well, they're right in front of me. And she loves the gardening videos. Okay.
If you don't have to be off grid, but if you want to, you're up change besides. So they can see this at the light. It's right here. This right here is how we bake. This is a Le Creuset, and I butchered that up, and I'm sorry. But this is a Le Creuset, and this is a bread oven. And as you can tell, it has been used many times. It has a nice, beautiful seasoning to it now because I've used it a lot since I've got it. But if you guys want a video on how to use a Le Creuset bread oven, let me know and I'll make one for you because I like making bread.
And I have a sourdough starter in the fridge that I feed every once in a while, and then I just use the discard to make pancakes because I hate baking so much. But if you want to see a bread video for him, I will get my sourdough starter active and we will try and fail at a sourdough loaf. Yes, check out the On Guard. And Angie, if you want to find me on Facebook, I actually sell doTERRA products, and my name on Facebook, is it Angela or Angie? It's Angie AJ Florence.
No, it's Angela.
Or
AJ
Angela,
Florence.
sorry, Angela AJ Florence. So find me on Facebook, picture of me wearing a black hat. If you want to friend me, we can chat and I can get you hooked up with some doTERRA stuff.
Yeah, you do the whole doTERRA thing.
I have a whole drawer of essential oils, and I use them in a lot of the stuff that I make, like my hair oils, which is why my hair is shiny tonight, because I oil my hair on Tuesdays and before I wash it. And then I did that, and he's like, oh, let's do it live. I'm like, great. Now my hair is gross looking. But I promise it's not because I'm dirty. It's because I just oiled it. How do you tie? How do you tie what?
That's what I'm asking. Tie what?
Be more specific, please.
I mean, I tie a lot of things, but depends on what you're asking. Excuse me.
You all right?
But yeah, the whole doTERRA oil thing,
Bracelet?
I always thought that was a bunch of hooey. But I want to tell you what, she's got that deep blue stuff. And I've got a knee injury from a long time ago and an ankle injury from when I was young and stupid. And boy, when the weather changes and that knee starts thumping, ooh, it really smarts. And that stuff doesn't get rid of it, but it takes...
Well, because nothing's going to
fix
fix
the
the
edge
arthritis.
off, because nothing's going to fix it.
Are you talking about this bracelet? Like how this is tied? I did not make this. I purchased it from a local guy who makes jewelry, and this is copper wire, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
There's
just
a
made
copper
this out of
bracelet.
copper wire. So if you're talking about that, that's what that's all about.
We do a lot of the copper stuff. I have copper rings that I wear. And Angie's got a copper mug from Off Grid with Doug and Stacy,
Yeah.
because we love them. We miss you guys. We haven't seen you in forever.
Adaptive cap. I have not. See, I can't swallow capsules. I struggle to swallow pills of any sort. But I do have adaptive oil, and I made myself a roller bottle to use when I'm struggling with anxiety. Yeah, it's definitely helpful for that. Balance is good too. I'm glad there's a fellow oiler in the comments section tonight.
And I like the smell of that one stuff. Whatever
I
it
made
was.
him deodorant. See, that's another thing I could make a video on. I don't know why I didn't that night. Maybe I was just tired, but I made him deodorant with the oil blend that's called Shinrin Yoku, which is forest bathing, and it's like a blend of different woodsy type oils, and it smells so good. And it actually works for you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, good stuff. Daniel Isaacs. Hey! You are Daniel of Daniel and Meg Isaacs, aren't you? We ran into you guys on Facebook, I believe, and we were supposed to get together and we just never made it happen. But you guys live here in the Middle Ohio Valley, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, see, it's not the floating of the capsules that I struggle with swallowing. It's the fact that I was taking valerian years ago, and I mean, these were horse choking capsules. And I was home alone, and I tried to swallow this capsule, and I had not had any problems with it up to this point, but I got choked, and it got lodged in my throat, and I couldn't breathe, and I was like beating on my chest and like doing what I could, and I finally got it to come up, and it scared me so bad. And now every time I go to swallow anything very big, much bigger than a pencil eraser, I mean, aside from food, but pill-wise, I just get that anxiety all over again, and my throat clenches up, and I struggle. It was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying. So luckily, the Lord was definitely with me that day.
Oh, Angie, you were talking about grinding. A couple of you was talking about grinding flour. I'm a kind of a coffee snob, depending on who you talk to. So I do have my own coffee grinder because I grind my own whole bean coffee. So
And he uses his little French press.
I do. I use my French press.
Which we found this French press at an antique store, and it's actually made in France, which was super cool. Can't find those anymore. Everything's made in China.
Oh, you roast your own beans? Man, I don't do that. I'm not to that point.
That's
and I'm
awesome.
solar. So
yes, please hook up with us on Facebook. Maybe we can buy some coffee beans from you. That would be awesome.
Absolutely. We're all about local and taking care of the small business and the other people around us. So
if you can't find my personal Facebook page, oh, okay, good. You friended me. Awesome. As soon as when we're done with the live tonight, I'll go accept that. I was gonna say if you can't find it, then we have a Facebook page of the same name as our YouTube channel as well.
And I like it black, like stand a spoon up in it, strong coffee. So if you roast me some dark, like midnight black, awesome coffee, we'll be talking.
I love coffee too. I just can't have caffeine, so excuse me. So I don't do it anymore. I have teas now that I use, and plus, even when I drink decaf coffee, it gives me acid reflux. Sadly, but it is delicious.
Coffee is the elixir of life.
Okay.
That is why there's many people in this world because of us coffee drinkers. We have coffee.
Okay.
Angie did friend the Florence's page.
Oh, okay, cool.
She did that earlier.
Good. Very good. So, yeah. Becca's laughing. Oh, probably at your coffee thing. Coffee helps me. I don't understand you guys.
Yes, absolutely. Coffee is I am not a morning person. Never have been, never will be.
Yeah, he's super grouchy.
I mean, you wake me up in
He's
the
not
morning.
a night person either, though.
I have to get up early to go to work. I do. I have to be up 5 o'clock to go to work. And if I ain't got my first pot of coffee in me by 8 o'clock, don't talk to me. Don't go there. You ain't climbing this old oak tree at 8 o'clock in the morning if I ain't have my cup of coffee.
It's all in your head. Anybody else drink out of copper? I drink out of this copper mug now that I got it from Doug and Stacy, and it's supposed to like help to purify your water and stuff. And we already run our drinking water through a Berkey filter, but this is supposed to help with that. Oh, so Becca's asking about the copper. So yeah, as far as copper, this is 100% copper. The handle is the only thing that has nickel mixed in with it. But copper to drink out of is supposed to, it adds something to the water. What is it that it adds? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's copper to the water.
No, something else. Like, the structure. It helps to
It
structure the
structures
water.
the water.
And then, but it also helps to remove impurities, and especially if you leave it sit. Like, say I fill this up at night before I go to bed, and then this will be the first water out of this cup that I drink the next morning. It helps to regulate a lot of stuff in your body. And then the bracelets. I have this bracelet, and then he's got the rings. The copper, it helps you ground, first of all, when you're outside walking around and stuff. But it's supposed to help remove impurities from your body and help with achy joints and things like that. So it's just overall good for your well-being.
I always thought that the copper thing was a bunch of hooey. I did. And I was pretty much at my wit's end with the pain that I have, and I was told to try it just to see. So I went with copper rings. And it took probably a week, maybe 2. After about a week or 2, I felt a difference. It wasn't instantaneous. You know, the instant gratification world that we live in, no, it doesn't happen. But after about a week or 2, I felt different. And if I take my rings off and I lay them on my nightstand and I go to bed, and when I get up the next morning, I can feel a difference. It's not drastic, you know, it's not life-changing, but I can feel a difference.
You have to be connected to the earth for it to be grounding. And really, it's best if you take off your shoes or if you touch your body to the ground directly in some fashion. So I try to ground a little bit. I've been really bad about it since the weather got gross and it's been raining a lot, but I was trying to ground every day there, I would take walks with no shoes on or just go out and stand in the yard for a few minutes. It's really good for you, but it will still, there's frequencies to everything. So that will still be beneficial to your body, even if you're not standing out in the yard.
Just like the electroculture that we do out in the garden,
Yeah.
which everybody says that's a big hoopla, but it's not, because we have all proved them wrong because we're right. But it works the same principle as electroculture with the electromagnetic fields and the energy, the chi. You hear people talk about the chi that's floating through the air. Copper is conductive, and it does make a difference.
And along those same lines, our body resonates with a frequency. And I can't remember the exact number of the frequency, but fabrics also operate with a frequency. And I was talking about much earlier in our live stream that I have switched all of my wardrobe with the exception of just one or two pieces that I haven't been able to find swaps for yet, that I've switched over to natural fibers. So I only wear cashmere, linen, wool, cotton, those kinds of things. And, the Bible talks some about that in Leviticus, but, a lot of it was laws back then. But just if you dig into that, there's something to that. And I started just wondering, okay, God, why did you say that? Is there something deeper than just these Levitical laws? And there is. These fabrics have frequencies, and frequencies have been proven to either help heal your body or help destroy your body. Linen and wool both have a frequency of over 5,000, I believe it is. Please look this up because I could have these numbers wrong in my head. But that is a very healing frequency. Polyester has a very, very low frequency of like 50, I think it is. And that is lower than the frequency of the human body, which I believe is 100. And so anytime you wear a fabric that is lower than the frequency of the human body, it actually draws from your body, draws energy from your body, and has negative effects on your health. So if you wear natural fibers, cotton, linen, wool, all that kind of stuff, linen and wool being the highest frequency, it adds to your body, adds energy to your body, and actually has healing properties. There have even been scientific studies that show that people who sleep on linen sheets can help have faster healing from illnesses, from wounds, things like that. And in some of my research, I learned that they actually used to have linen sheets in the hospitals because it helped the patients heal faster. Now everything is polyester, which is plastic. In essence, polyester, nylon, it's all literally plastic. You're sleeping on and wearing plastic. And that is doing just terrible things to your body. Terrible. So I've been trying as I can afford to, and I've been thrift shopping a lot, just switching my wardrobe over to those natural fibers. I just want, especially because I've struggled with autoimmune conditions in the past, I just want my body to have the best chance possible to be healthy.
So we're dropping a lot of good stuff here. So hit that thumbs up, share this live, share it on Facebook, give us a heart, thumbs up, something, let us know you're there. Daniel said that they've made a lot of changes since they moved here to the wild and wonderful West Virginia.
Yeah, we were supposed to get together. I hope we still can.
Currently, they're starting their own off-grid homestead, which is absolutely wonderful. We've sold our house and jumped in head first.
We did the same thing.
I did the same thing.
And I meant we jumped in head first.
Well, yes.
Just bam. And I didn't have a house to sell. I was living with my mom, so we both abandoned our worldly lifestyle. I say worldly as in just what everybody else does. And jumped into this head first.
I sold my house. It was 1,552 square feet, 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, attached 2-car garage. I lived the in-town lifestyle, just like everybody else. I did the 9 to 5. I was a slave to the bills, to all that stuff. I went from 1,552 square feet to this now. It's rough. You don't have to do it. If I can tell you anything, don't have to do it alone. We're here. We love you. We'll support you. We'll talk you through it. Don't go at it alone. You go at it alone, you're going at it. You're going to have a rough time. I promise you. It's rough diving in head first, doing it all at once.
The chef is watching. The chef from that class.
Oh, Chef
Hello, Chef
Seabass. Hey, man. How you doing?
Becca, that's awesome about the rabbits. I love bunnies, first of all. I'd love to have some, but we just don't have the right setup to properly care for rabbits. But I have always been wanting to learn how to spin yarn. I've tried it once and it was so relaxing, so I'd really like to do that. But I just don't have anywhere to put that kind of thing. So if you want to connect on Facebook as well, excuse me, that would be awesome. And I might even buy some yarn from you because I knit and crochet. So that would be cool. And my name on Facebook is Angela AJ Florence. So if you want to connect, I'd really like that.
Chef Seabass, we need to get together, man. We've got people on here that's wanting to know how to bake on a wood stove. I got my bread oven out earlier in the video.
Yes, Chef Seabass, teach me how to make a loaf of sourdough bread that doesn't suck. Please, teach me how to bake anything at all.
But I got my Le Creuset bread oven out. We're showing the people on here. Everybody, Mr. Chef Seabass is the man.
He works in a hospital type of thing, attached to the hospital locally around here, and he teaches super fun cooking classes. We took one.
No, he doesn't work at the hospital anymore. He lives in Monroe County now.
Well, he did. He taught super fun cooking classes, and we took one from him, and it was a blast. I don't know what he's doing now, so apparently he can update us on that.
Oh, man.
Well,
we're glad to see you on here. Well, absolutely. We sure did miss you.
Hospital account in Lewisburg. Well, I hope it's not boring because your stuff before was super fun.
You had a great cooking class. It was absolutely wonderful. Oh, what happened to my feed here? Make sure I didn't miss anybody.
What else can we discuss this evening? Let me show you Farmstead County.
Country.
Oh, country. Sorry, it's
Farmstead
far away.
Country.
Let me show you this book I got recently, and I want to share it with you in case you're interested.
Book.
Yeah,
To who?
Essential oil book. Anybody.
Oh, she big into this essential oil stuff. I'm trying harder and harder not to think it's all a bunch of...
Okay. So, I'm still learning and I don't have them yet. We're starting to... Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, when you do get your bunnies, if you do start making your own yarn, I will buy some from you. Okay, so I got this book. It's probably showing backwards on there, but it's called Science of Essentials. That is the lady I follow on Instagram, and this is her best recipes book. This has literally everything in it. It has like skincare products, lip products, hair products, beard products for the dudes. It has cleaning products, everything that you can make with essential oils and natural ingredients. So I'm going to be experimenting with some things out of here, and as I make new stuff, this is where I got his deodorant recipe. I will try to get better about making videos as I'm creating these things. So yeah, just wanted to share that.
I'm not Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude.
Frankincense is amazing. Yes, frankincense is just fantastic. It's a shame that it's so expensive.
Carrie Lauds loves essential oils.
I see that. Yeah, I used to use frankincense a lot for anxiety problems. Since then, my body has like shifted and other things are kind of helping more than that. But it's great to have on hand for whatever. They call it like the healer of all things. You put it in your water.
You drink frankincense and water?
Okay, so...
Why?
I guess I really wasn't sure you could ingest frankincense, but what is your reasoning for ingesting that or for drinking that?
Speaking of frankincense, we got some soap. You know, because we have to buy things. You know, we can't make everything nor we have the time.
We can make soap, but we'd still have to buy the ingredients to make the soap, and then you might as well just buy the soap.
Anyway, I got some soap from our local store here that we frequent often.
It's a health food store.
It's a health food store. And it is frankincense and myrrh goat milk soap. And I want to tell you what, that stuff's great.
Bergamot, and do I have bergamot? Yes, but I don't know what it's used for. So, I would say I'm fairly new to essential oils, but I'm not, but I am. So I've been having them for about 10 years, and I would use some of them off and on. But it wasn't until this year that I actually just really started learning what the certain ones are actually good for and starting to try to experiment with them. So I'm still a baby in the essential oil department.
Well, she drinks all this healthy stuff and all this good stuff, and I'm still the guy over here that likes my half a gallon of eggnog. So
At least it's made with local milk.
when the home family farm makes eggnog, you
Actual
drink it.
frankincense I soak in water. MS. Oh, I'm so sorry that you have MS. That's awful. But I truly hope that the frankincense is helpful to you. I know that it is a healer of many things, for sure. Yeah, I know not all essential oils can be ingested. Luckily, doTERRA, who I buy my essential oils from, is very good about, they will put nutrition facts on the bottle if it is one that is safe to be ingested.
Yes. Sorry.
If it's not safe
You
to
guys
be
are
ingested, it will not have the nutrition fact information on it. Oh, you're in remission. That's fantastic. That's wonderful. I'm glad to hear that.
Sea bass, I wish I could send you some.
You could.
Eggnog, aside from coffee, yes. Aside from coffee, yes, I agree.
This eggnog is, even though like I don't drink it because I'm not supposed to have dairy anymore, it's kind of special to us because when his uncle was developing the eggnog recipe, he had several different recipes he was trying, and we actually got to come over and help taste everything and help decide on the final recipe that got put out to the public. So that was cool.
And if you like cookies and cream, Florence Creamery milk, you can thank me for that.
Oh, okay. Cool, Carrie. doTERRA is really big around here. It's just the only one that there is, really. I mean, that health food store he was talking about, they have a line of essential oils, but they don't smell right, if you know what I mean. So I don't fully trust them.
Smell right.
Yeah. You gotta be careful with oils, especially if you're gonna be ingesting them. You gotta be careful with whatever you put on your body because your skin is your largest organ in your whole body, and it literally absorbs everything right into your bloodstream. So
let's hear some questions from you guys. What do you want to know?
Yes, Becca, that's a very good point. I do have a load of essential oils that I keep here because I mostly use them in the stuff that I make, like in my lip balm, in my headache relief balm, in the deodorant, in candles, sometimes like that. But I would love to learn more about using herbs and spices because that's stuff that we can grow here. This year I did grow lemon balm, although I planted it pretty late in the season, so I didn't harvest any of it because I wanted it to get established. But I also grew rosemary and spearmint and oregano this year as well. But I'd like to learn more about that stuff. It's just a lot to learn. So
Someday we're going to be the only ones that know what the fox says.
that's ridiculous. Yeah, I want to learn more about tinctures, too. I don't know anything about that.
I made some brandy.
That's not a tincture.
Oh, well, I put stuff in and liquid comes out.
That's something else entirely.
You have some vanilla.
I didn't make it, but
No,
that's not a tincture either. I don't think.
Well, you put alcohol in and you put beans in and vanilla comes out.
Well, maybe that is a tincture.
That's a tincture.
I guess.
You put stuff in and liquid comes out. Hey, brandy's a tincture.
I'm with him. With who? Carrie, reach out to me on Facebook, Angela AJ Florence, and we can talk about tinctures. Maybe you can teach me some things. Because I can, look up stuff, but I just get overwhelmed at all the information out there, and I struggle to remember things. It's when I have conversations with people one-on-one that I remember stuff a lot better.
Have a recipe book for them.
Oh, nice.
Yes, paper, books for when things go south.
Yeah.
Things go south.
That's
what do you need?
just our food books right there.
When things go south, you need stuff like The Art of Fermentation. You need this stuff where you can get it. You need stuff where you can research it. Call it, can it, ferment it.
We also have one that's like the Guide to Homesteading or something like that. It's over
I don't
there.
know. And then we've got Doug and Stacy's books. We've got the fermenting. We've got
Cooking with a Smile.
Cooking with a Smile. I mean, don't rely on the internet, guys. Don't
Might
rely
not
on these
always
computers. put these books out there where
Thank
you can research them.
Angie, for joining us. I'm so glad you did, and we will try to do more lives. Maybe we can get on a schedule of some sort.
Bye, Angie. Thank you for stopping.
Heidi from Rain Country.
Rain Country?
Okay, let me write that down so I don't forget. Is
Heidi
that, Carrie, is that on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, or where's she at? Oh, my pen won't work. There we go.
Sea bass. You might like that. You might like that cookbook from Stacy.
She has...
Let me find it.
Rosemary Gladstar books.
Chef,
Okay.
you get a chance to look up Off Grid with Doug and Stacy. Look up her recipe book and get it. Because it's some really good stuff.
YouTube, okay.
I mean, she's got everything from soups and salads to using fermented foods.
Okay, thank you, Carrie. I will look her up and follow her.
She is.
He's
she's
looking
got
it up now, he says.
She's got a lot of great
Yeah,
stuff.
if you go to Off Grid with Doug and Stacy and click on the 3 little lines and go to their shop tab, you'll find their books. They also have a remedy book on there that I have yet to get, but I would like to at some point.
You know, because again, this is community taking care of community. We started with Off Grid with Doug and Stacy.
It's where we learned everything.
It's where we learned everything from. We met them in person. They're wonderful people. Wish we could get to see them again. Go help them out.
Thanks for joining
Go
us,
support
Daniel.
them.
I really appreciate it. You guys reach out for sure. I'm still friends with Meg on Facebook.
See you, Daniel. Thanks for joining us. Hope to see you soon. Get out there. Get at it. Get it done. We'll be here to help you.
I will definitely check out that Heidi girl. Sounds like she is a good one to follow. That's for sure. Oh, Homegrown Herbalist has... Oh, they talk about veterinary medicine too. Okay, that's cool. I will look that one up also. I also follow Barbara O'Neill. Well, I follow Living Springs Retreat, their YouTube channel, and they post mostly Barbara O'Neill stuff. But they don't like post as much of Barbara's stuff as they wish they would. So I don't know if she has her own channel or what, but she has a lot of good information too. Homegrown, what was that called? Homegrown Herbalist.
Back to sourdough. Yes, she already has the starter.
I have a starter. I keep it in the fridge and I feed it occasionally. And when I do feed it and leave it out on the counter just to see if it still does what it's supposed to do, it always does. You know, it gets active and does all its crap. But because I don't have 2 days to make a sourdough loaf of bread, like the one recipe I have takes 2 whole days to make it. I don't have that kind of time. So I just take some off and make pancakes and put it back in the fridge.
And we were talking to Angie, another lady on here, and another person about, we're going to start, if I can swing it, because I've been researching this, I'm looking at trying to start grinding our own flour and buying the wheat berries and doing everything fresh, because especially for a sourdough starter, fresh wheat or fresh flour, ones that hasn't been processed, ones that has
Taking
all
you back
of
to the couch.
Back to the couch.
I'm tired of standing in front of the sink, and I think my phone is cool enough now that it'll be fine.
One that has all of the nutrients in it that hasn't been taken out in the processing. Excuse me. Is definitely something I'm looking into.
You know, I've never tried to make sourdough. Ooh, gosh, during the cycle, but considering it's a fermented food, I would say that would probably affect it.
I gotta check the hot water tank.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't found any. I haven't really looked at any 1-day recipes yet, just because like I was so overwhelmed by the whole sourdough process and all the stretching and folding, and I'm like, I don't have time for this, and it made me feel overwhelmed. So I kind of gave up on it for a little bit. But I would like to try it again. Now I have a different job, and I'm home a lot more, so I do have more time to try. So
She's using just your standard store-bought flour, nothing fancy.
Country Living Grain Mill. She said best mill unless you're looking for electric. We are not looking for electric.
I've been looking at the Nutrimill.
We definitely want something that can be used by hand or
Well, I was looking at electric.
Oh, see, I didn't think we were. Apparently, he's looking at electric. Too.
I was looking at Nutrimill because it's a stone mill. It's not a burr. And the only thing you got to do to clean them is run a little bit of rice through them. So, and that store that we don't talk about, that store that we don't want to shop at, but
we do anyway.
But we do anyway because sometimes it's unfortunate and we need something that only that store can get us. Their mills are expensive. I'm talking like
$1,000.
Yeah,
for
their biggest one, their nicest ones is $1,000. I don't want to spend $1,000 on a grain mill when I can buy one for $400. And it's not even a stone mill; it's a burr.
So, I'm going to share this. It has nothing to do with off-grid living or anything, but it's sitting right in front of me. So I thought I would share it anyway. Okay. Well, we could do electric because we have, the generator and stuff if we had to, but.
I don't know. What does Mother Earth? I don't know if 7th Street
No,
Market
none of
does
them carry Amish country flour.
I don't think
there is
Mother
no
Earth
market
does
on
either.
7th Street anymore. Ward's closed down.
Ward's wasn't on 7th. Oh, yeah, Ward's was on 7th.
Let me share this real quick before I forget. So, there's this. This is just sitting right in front of me, so I wanted to share it for you ladies who might be interested, or even guys. I have been doing a lot of deeper Bible study here lately, and I like to write in my Bible and underline things. And I came across this lady on Instagram who uses this company called Mr. Pen. And so I just got all this stuff, and it just came in today. But they make these highlighters and pens that are specifically designed. I have lots of colors, but I'll just show you a few. These are the highlighters, specifically designed just to use in Bibles, and that they won't bleed through the page. So this is like a gel highlighter. I haven't figured out how it works yet. I haven't tried it. And then they have like the normal kind, but they're designed specifically for Bibles. So I thought that was really cool. They also have transparent sticky notes. So you can use these sticky notes to stick in your Bible and make a note over top the text, and you can still see the text underneath. And then, like I said, they have pens as well that are designed to write in your Bible.
I want to say it was April.
Hang on.
I think it was April
anyway.
when they said they were going to retire.
Can I finish my sentence? Thanks. Anyway, so I just wanted to share that because I was really excited about it, and I thought somebody else might appreciate that.
Becca said she loves Mr. Penn.
Well, that's good. This will be my first order from Mr. Penn, so I'm excited to use that maybe later this evening. Yes, Ward's Market closed earlier this year. We have a lot of things closing around our small little town. It's kind of sad.
They retired, from what I understand.
Yes, they did.
Now, the feed store is still open. Down off of Old Camden, it's still open.
Well, these other people who don't live here have no interest in our local stores.
Well, that's true. But you know what? That's how. Okay, that's a good thing right there. That's how ingrained that the world should be now. When we're sitting here talking about local stores, our local people that we grew up with or grew up around, those are the ones that we're supporting. Those are the ones we're taking care of. We're not talking about the big box stores.
Yeah.
We're talking about the hometown people that we love and we want to keep going.
And I will pay more for something to get it from a local source. I don't care if it's $10 cheaper at Walmart. I'm not buying it there if I can support a family. So, that's just important to me. Oh, did you show them the things I was making? My scrubbies?
I don't think so, no.
I'm selling these things, so if anybody's interested. But speaking of supporting local, we grew loofah this year, as he did say earlier, and not as tactical. We will get to your question in just a second. Thank you so much for asking.
I will look and see if I still have it, Chef.
I do. I have his number.
Oh, you still have it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, we grew loofah this year and it was very successful. It was the first time ever. So I made these sponges. This is a double-sided loofah sponge, crocheted around the edges to hold it together. And it has a little loopy there. I'm using one just like this in the shower currently, and it's fantastic. Um, this is a loofah sponge. These are in various sizes because of the, the shape of the loofahs and which plant and everything. But I crocheted one side. This is 100% cotton yarn, and then it's loofah on the other side. So these are great to wash your dishes, and I'm selling these for $3 a piece. So if anybody is interested in this, find us on Facebook, the Florence's Off-Grid Journey. We have a page. You can send us a message there, and I can ship them out to you. It's no problem. I've got lots of colors. So
Not as tactical as your friend.
yeah, we need to answer his question.
How much of a shock is going off grid for the first year? Well, I guess that would depend on the person.
It depends on how you lived beforehand.
I can honestly say that I was I had softened up because after I had moved away from home and started my own lifestyle and started my own life, I lived the city life. I was, tied to the bills, the utility bills. I was used to my air conditioned house, and I was used to my heated garage, and etc.
Me too.
So
without the garage,
the first year, it was rough. And if you're used to that lifestyle, if you can't handle sleeping outside when it's summertime, you're gonna have a pretty rough first year. But there's a big but. After that, it's gravy. You get your body gets acclimated to the heat. You get your fan. Life is good.
I didn't really feel like I had much shock. Not that it wasn't new to me. It was, but I feel like I am just very adaptable to different situations, and it doesn't take me long to adjust. So we still were able to do all the same things as everybody else. We're still able to wash our clothes. We're still able to cook meals. I already didn't have a microwave for the last 10 years, so I was accustomed to not heating up things very quickly.
And the microwave's bad for you.
Yeah.
Get away from that thing. That's nasty.
I don't know. I guess it didn't really feel shocking to me because we were still able to do all the normal living stuff. It was just a different method of doing so.
Now, sleeping is still hard sometimes.
When is sleeping ever hard for you? You are out in 5 minutes.
Sometimes when it's hot, I have trouble sleeping.
Yeah.
The fan does help, but this house, with the insulation and the way we build it, it's 8 to 10 degrees cooler in here than it is outside. So when it's 100 degrees outside, it's still 90 plus degrees in the house. And
not at night, but
no, it's a little bit cooler in the evening, but it's still hot. And so there is times where we have the fan upstairs, which I think she showed earlier in the video, that pulls the heat out of the house during the summertime. We can plug
in the window upstairs.
We can plug the fan in and kind of pull some of the heat out. So, do you get 100% used to it? No, because the weather changes all the time. Is it easier now? Absolutely. 4 years, I wouldn't go back for nothing.
Oh, it depends on the day. Some days he's like, I just want to quit this. But I don't think he really means it.
There is some days it's rough. There's some days that I have been ready to hang it up. I've been ready to say...
I just tell him, bye, I ain't leaving. He gets over it.
I've been ready to hang it all up, sell it all, done with it, I'm going back to town. I'm going to come home from work, sit in my chair, and take it easy.
And then he comes to his senses.
And then that mood passes, and I'm like, why would I ever give this up?
And then there's moments like when our neighborhood that we live in, the power goes out all the time for no reason. And so the neighbors in our group chat on Facebook will be like, hey, is your power out? Is your power out? And we're like, I don't know nothing about that. Don't affect us. And then when it's cold and snowy outside and we're sitting here by the glow of the wood stove, it's all worth it.
Till you have to bring wood in.
I don't mind that.
I do. It's cold outside.
I don't mind the cold. I like the snow and being out and stuff. You need to look up the Hunker Down, a small coffee shop made of an old spelunking store. Well, that's cool. I'll look that up too.
Where's that at? I've never heard of that. Is it your area? Our area? The hunker down. Give you a reason to come down. We go, oh.
Yeah, that'd be
It's a
cool.
good idea. It's a good idea.
Where's Monroe County? Is it far?
Nah, that's not too bad. Still in West Virginia.
Obviously.
We don't normally travel in the wintertime, though.
No, just because we'd have to ask the neighbors to take care of the stove, and they will. Like, they're so kind, but we hate to do that. We hate to have to ask them.
That's another thing you got to think about if you go to this lifestyle is if your wood stove is your only source of heat,
Yeah.
you better be paying attention to that stove morning, night. Make sure it's stocked and ready to rock and roll because
No,
that
we
thing
don't
goes.
have to get up in the middle of the night or anything.
No, ours is big enough we don't have to.
Gave yourself a hurt. My goodness. Well, be careful.
Oh man,
That's pretty bad, man.
that's bad.
Getting older's no fun, I
Hey,
guess.
and I got some exciting things coming up too. There's going to be a new addition to the homestead here pretty soon. And I don't think you're going to want to miss this one because it's going to help make my life a lot easier.
You need to read that next comment from Becca and take it to heart, sir.
Importance of resting. Still doing day-to-day homestead stuff, but resting for big projects. Not getting burnt out.
See, I keep telling him this all the time that he needs to rest and that, you know, that we need to be following what God said about observing the Sabbath just simply because he knew that we needed to take that time to rest. He knew that was good for us and that our bodies need that. But he struggles because he feels like he needs to be doing something all the time.
I want to tell you
And
what.
I'm like, it'll still be there tomorrow.
You're a bigger man than I am because I ain't hand chopping a whole cord. Kudos to you because
Luckily, we have.
I'm not that big of a man anymore. And I don't think I'm burnt out. I don't think I get burnt out.
Well, then what is that about when you have your little fits of I want to quit?
I don't know. Maybe it's just the laziness in me trying to get through.
I don't know.
But yes, got a big surprise coming. Big one. And it's pretty too.
Sure.
This new guy that splits it for me to deliver yesterday.
So,
Hey, it's a good way to get frustrations out. I'll give you that.
how often would you guys like to see us do live videos? It's been a long time, maybe a year or more since we've even done one.
Yeah, and we've never done a short live too.
And this
so.
has been more successful than the regular way of doing lives because we've had a lot more people watch. So how often would you guys be interested in watching?
And I've got a wood splitter now. I got it last year, which was that last year was the first year I've ever had a hydraulic wood splitter. And it's slow and it's old, but man, it beats swinging that maul or those wedges any day. But I got my eyes on a different one. I got my eyes on another something new coming in.
The comments are slowing down.
Well, it's almost 8 o'clock. People's
Yeah.
got families to feed and take care of.
And it's a work night.
It's a work
And
night.
a school night.
Yep.
Try maybe once or twice a month.
Once or
Yeah,
twice a
I
month.
think that sounds okay. Because, I mean, Doug and Stacy do it every week, but they have thousands of people that watch those live videos and comments out the wazoo, so it's easy to have things to talk about. We're not there yet.
Well, Becca, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for that feedback. Oh, thank
Gonna
you.
leave you in suspense. Well, I could give you a little behind the scenes stuff. I could do that.
You could just tell them. It's not really horribly exciting.
Hey, it's horribly exciting to me.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like a life change or anything. Hi, I just dropped on and found you. I watched you before. So, hey, Lori. Yes, I remember your name. Thank you for joining us. We've just been hanging out, chatting off grid stuff. We talked about the Lord for a little while. We talked about, we've talked about anything you could think of. We talk about, yes, you watch us on our purse channel. That's right. This is our
Oh,
off grid channel where we talk about our homesteading life and healthy living and natural products and stuff like that.
and
So,
everybody on here is going to be like, what is a purse channel?
yeah, so if you don't know, we have another YouTube channel called Ange and Andy. And we started out doing handbag reviews because we were in a Dooney and Burke group. And we did handbag reviews together. It's quite funny. Quite funny. I would talk about the function and the usefulness. He would talk about the quality of the leather. We made a pretty good team. And so we're going to be moving that channel into other things too. Like we're going to start talking about our barefoot shoes on there because a lot of them are leather goods. We talk about other leather goods too, but bye, Becca. See you later.
Thanks, Becca.
Um,
Appreciate you being here. We hope to see you soon.
But yeah, we do have the other channel. It was just something silly for fun that we maintain when we have time. But thank you for joining us here, Lori. I hope you subscribe to this one too if you haven't already. And that was very sweet of you to give that to your mom.
Wow, we've been at this for 121 minutes.
Yeah.
We've been at this for over an hour. This is awesome. We're glad to have you guys here. Absolutely awesome.
It's been fun. It's good to see you too, Lori. Appreciate it.
So I said earlier, unplug your phone. I said earlier that I was going to go.
Unplug
This
it?
is something
Oh,
we do here.
hold on to it so I can unplug it. Okay.
This is something we do here. I told you guys, I don't know if you heard, but I said I was going to go check on the hot water tank because here on the homestead we have to have hot water to take a shower in. This is our handy dandy hot water tank where we take a shower. And here in the bathroom is where we make our hot water. So, speaking of which, I had to come in here and check it because, well, I ain't touching it because it's hot. So that means it's almost time for me to take a shower. Because, like a lot of the others of you, it's going to be close to time to getting ready for bed for work tomorrow.
Oh, that's okay for coming in late. We're just glad you came in at all. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely, Chef. We're happy to see you. We sure do miss you, man. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know. I want to
That
take
was
another
great.
cooking class because I see they're still going on, but now that I know you're not teaching it, I don't know that I will. Maybe it won't be as fun. Well, come back up here then if you miss it. I am a realtor. I can sell you another house.
Hey, we got extra bed upstairs.
That's
You can come
true.
up here and stay with us, and we'll keep you going until you get on your feet back home.
That goes for any of you people, you followers. If you're ever in the area and you want to visit, reach out. You're welcome to stay with us. As long as you're not a psycho killer or something.
Which, in case, we have remedies for that. Hey, good for you, director.
Yeah, I bet it sounds boring.
Hey, I got off the road. I don't drive truck anymore. I'm a road dispatch supervisor, so I sit in the office too, man. It's so much better. Don't have to deal with all those people out there on the road. So good for you. We're happy for you. Uh-oh.
My phone is
Your
alerting me
phone's
that it's going to
alerting
shut
you.
down my apps in 5 minutes for downtime for the night. So we should probably sign off of here.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming in. We greatly enjoyed it. This has been an absolute blast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and we will catch you on the next video.
Yep, we'll see you in maybe 2 weeks or so.
Bye,
for
everybody.
live. See ya.